So in the mindful breathing practice, we calm the mind by paying mindful attention to breathing. Everything in mindfulness is about paying attention. It's always attention, attention, attention. It's just a matter of where we put the attention more. So in mindful body stretching, we put the attention more on bodily sensation. In mindful breathing, we are putting the attention on the breathing process. So this method works by mindful breathing, helps to calm the mind by activating the vagus nerve in the body. Vagus nerve is the nerve for relaxation. Remember earlier I showed one slide about activation of the sympathetic nervous system. So I said when we are under a lot of stress, high stress, the sympathetic nervous system will be activated. Sympathetic nervous system is the fight and flight nervous system. Vagus nerve is the opposite. Vagus nerve is the parasympathetic nervous system, is for relaxation. So when we practice mindful breathing, we are activating the vagus nerve. In other words, we are activating the relaxation response in the body. And this explains why mindful breathing is very, very effective for calming the mind. So when do we practice mindful breathing? When is mindful breathing useful? The indications are more or less like mindful body stretching. They are more or less the same in terms of how we use the exercises. But mindful body stretching is more effective for physical tension, whereas the mindful breathing is for mindful tension. If you can combine them, it'll be very, very, very useful. Yeah. So how do we do mindful breathing? There are many, many, many ways. Yeah, there are many ways to do mindful breathing. I will show you at least 4 or 5 ways today. The reason we want to share with you various methods so that you can try it out and see which one works better for you. There is no best method. There is no best mindfulness practice, but we have a variety of methods so that you can try it out and see which one is best for you. So the first one, I call it slow, deep, and mindful breathing, Qigong style. So how do we do mindful breathing, Qigong style? We're going to watch this video together. As you are watching, you may practice along. Just follow me and just practice along. Of course, when you practice, pay attention to the challenges you have. And whatever challenges, feel free to ask during the Q&A session later. Mindful breathing, Qigong style. Okay, so that's mindful breathing, Qigong style. Let me elaborate a bit. Okay. As we are breathing in, when we breathe in, we actually breathe in through the nose and we tilt the head up. So this way, breathe in. Okay, breathe in through the nose, tilt the head up. Okay, this is very important because when we tilt the head up, we are opening up the airway. It opens up the airway. It's easier for us to breathe in. Okay, some people they ask, is it necessary to raise the hand? Actually, it's not necessary. It's not a must, but raising the hand has the advantage of helping us to focus. Because if there is no movement, very often when we breathe in and out, our mind will be wandering, will be thinking. So elevating your hand helps to focus, but it's not a must. But I find that the part which involves tilting the head, I find that is very important because it opens up the airway. Breathe in through the nose. Okay. And we breathe out through the mouth with the sound of relief. The sound of relief is very important. Actually, it conditions our mind to relax and try to make the out breath longer than the in breath. Out breath longer than the in breath, and that helps to enhance the relaxation response. So breathe in, out longer. Okay. And it's very important when we breathe in, it's important to smile, be kindful, be gentle, be graceful. Breathe in. Breathe in, smile. Smile. Okay, remember in mindfulness training, mindfulness always comes with kindness. In mindfulness, there is kindness, there's gentleness. Of course, focus on the present moment. As we're breathing in and out, focus in the present moment. And the present moment in this context is the movement and the sensations associated with breathing. So this movement is part of breathing. Then the body sensations, the hand sensation, the breathing sensation, they're all part and parcel of the breathing. So that is the focus. Of course, we can try to be playful, apply beginner's mind. We can use some imagery. As you breathe in, we imagine smelling a flower. As you breathe out, imagine blowing the leaf. Okay. So what's the difference between mindful breathing and mindless breathing? So this is very important. Not all breathing is mindful breathing. Not all breathing is mindful breathing. In order for a practice to be considered as mindful breathing, the four main principles of mindfulness are present moment attention, kindness, beginner's mind, and wisdom. All four has to be in. So let me elaborate. Okay, attention part basically is focusing on the breathing process. Focusing. The opposite of it, mindless breathing and mindless breathing, as we're breathing in and out, we are thinking about the future, we're worrying about the future, thinking of what we're going to do after the course, what we're going to cook tonight. That is still breathing, but it's not mindful breathing, it's mindless breathing. Kindness, okay, when we do the breathing, remember to smile. Smiling is a way to express kindness. And we remind ourselves we're breathing in and out to relax the body, to calm the mind, to comfort ourselves. So we do it with gentleness, with gratefulness, and with kindness. So sometimes the mindful breathing, we also call it kindful breathing. Actually, by right, mindfulness the kindness component is always there. Sometimes people overlook the kindness component. That's why sometimes we have to come up with another term. We call it kindful breathing, just to highlight the kindness component of mindfulness. Then we have a beginner's mind. Beginner's mind means try to be curious, be adventurous, be playful when we practice mindful breathing. Yeah. So of course we have some guidance for you. Just now I'm giving you the guidance, but whatever suggestions we give might not work for you. So we encourage you to go back and try it yourself, and then you adjust it according to your needs. And we have a few more methods. The mindful breathing Qigong style is only one of the methods. Later, we have the Valentine style, and we have various methods. So we encourage you to go and try. Mix, modify, match according to your needs. That is how we apply beginner's mind in mindful breathing. Yeah? So it's not fixed. We encourage you to be flexible. And of course, wisdom. Wisdom is understanding the practice, understanding the instructions, understanding how to modify the method, mix it, and try different way to suit your situation, because different people practice mindful breathing for different purpose. Some are using it for insomnia, some are using it for public speaking fear, some are using it for panic attack, different situation. Wisdom is understanding how to apply the mindful breathing method in your own specific situation. Okay, mindful breathing, in case you missed this word I mentioned just now. I think last week a few of you were a little bit confused. Somebody asked about the difference between mindful breathing and kindful breathing. Actually, they are the same thing. The original word is mindful breathing. Mindful breathing include all four parts. Is because over the years when we teach mindfulness, we notice that when people practice mindfulness, although we remind them again on kindness, people are still very tense up. They have difficulty in smiling. That's why we coin this term kindful breathing. We coin this term mindful breathing, which we borrowed from a meditation teacher, Ajahn Brahm. He actually coined it. I didn't come up with this word, but I borrowed this word to help to emphasize the importance of applying kindness, gentleness, compassion when we do the mindful breathing process. Okay, so this is another method of practicing mindful breathing. Yeah, so there are many ways to practice mindful breathing. If you don't like the Qigong style, we have a second method. This is called the Valentine style. So how to do slow, deep mindful breathing Valentine style. We'll watch this video. Feel free to follow, practice together. So that's mindful breathing, Valentine style. Yeah. So go back and try, see whether you prefer the Qigong style or you prefer the Valentine style. Maybe certain situation you like the Qigong style, certain situation you like the Valentine style. So you can practice any of it depending on the situation. We can also combine the mindful stretching, which we learned last week, and the mindful breathing, which we learned today. Yeah, so we can combine, we can mix. Okay, how do we do that? There are two methods. One is simultaneous. Sorry, the one is simultaneous. I show this slide. Okay, there are two ways to combine mindful stretching and breathing. So first one is simultaneous. The other one is sequential. One is simultaneous, one is sequential. What's the difference? Okay, for simultaneous, this is how we do it. For example, in the tortoise style, so the mindful body stretching tortoise style, so I will do it this way. So I breathe in, then I breathe out. Okay, I breathe in, then I breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, so you notice that I drop the counting. Okay, in the original mindful body stretching, there was counting, no breathing involved. So it's the original, the mindful body stretching, the one we learned last week is only counting. Is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we drop. But we combine it with mindful breathing, you drop the counting, you just breathe in, then we breathe out. Same goes for the Superman style. So we breathe in. So we don't count. Then we breathe out. Okay. Same for push the ceiling. So we push the ceiling, breathe in, and we breathe out. Okay, and we can do the same for all the other 10 mindful body stretching postures. So this is called combined mindful breathing and stretching simultaneous because it's together, stretching and breathing. Okay, there's another method. This is more of a sequential. In sequential, we practice the mindful body stretching first. For example, we do the mindful facial stretching, which is A, E, O, then followed by breathing. Okay, then we go for mindful body stretching for the head and neck. Example, the tortoise, Superman, and push the ceiling. Okay, and then we repeat the mindful breathing. Okay, then we can do the mindful body stretching for the lower parts of body, followed by breathing again. And of course, also the massage, the tapping, twisting, the massage, followed by another mindful breathing 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So this is combined stretching and breathing sequentially, one after the other. So which one is the best? Again, there's no best. So we invite you to try it out with beginner's mind. Do it simultaneously, do it sequentially. The breathing part can be the Qigong part, it can be the Valentine style. So we leave it to you to try. Okay. We can also do mindful breathing, animation guided mindful breathing. Can you see the box moving? Can I? I think I see. Yeah. So we can sync our breathing with the movement of the box. So this is breathe. Okay. Breathe in. breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, you can also imagine the box as though the box is your tummy. The box is your tummy because you cannot see my tummy, but imagine the box is your tummy. So if I breathe in, the box expand, your tummy also expand. Breathe in, the box expand, the tummy also expand. Okay, so can we try it out for about a minute? We tried it out. And apply some beginner's mind. Try to be playful. As you breathe in, you can imagine you are smelling the flowers, and when you breathe out, you blow the leaf. So we try it out for a minute. Okay. So that's mindful breathing, box animation guided. So feel free to try different methods. As I said, no one is the best. We encourage you to experiment, play around. To be mindful is easy. I think so far the exercises I've taught you, the mindful body stretching, the mindful breathing, they are not that difficult to do. They're quite easy to do. So that's why I say to be mindful is easy, but remembering to be mindful, that's very difficult. Remembering to be mindful, that's very difficult. In order to make it easier for you, I suggest that you install this free app known as MindBell. Okay, you can scan this QR code. Then you can install this MindBell. This is for the Android system. For those of you who are using the iOS system, we have another one for you afterwards. Okay, basically you can install this app, and you can program the app to ring a bell sound. Ring a bell sound like this. Ring a bell sound like this. Artificially, not using the actual bell like this, but it's going to sound something like this. So you can program the app to ring a bell sound at certain interval. For example, every 3 hours. So every 3 hours, you hear the sound, ding. Then we pause for a while to take a mindful breath. Okay, and then we just continue our work. So continue with studies, continue the work. Okay, then after about 3 hours, you're going to hear the alarm again. Ding. So again, we pause for a while, we take a deep breath. Okay, whether you want to do the Qigong style, the Valentine style, the box animation guided, or whatever method, is up to you. So it's a skillful way to remind us to take pause throughout the day to practice mindful breathing. So that is for Android system. This one is for iOS, for iPhone. For iPhone, you can use this app. Okay. Last week, I remember somebody asked me how to practice mindfulness for sleep purpose. For those who are having insomnia, we can also apply mindful breathing. But I suggest you do the stretching first. Do the mindful body stretching, then followed by this mindful breathing to be done on the bed. So mindful breathing on the bed. So how we're going to do it? So it's mindful breathing on the bed. I also call it body grounding. Body grounding. I'll show you. Okay. In body grounding. Okay. So while lying down on the bed, we breathe in. Breathe in. Okay. When we breathe out, you imagine we are falling into the bed, falling asleep. When we breathe out, we imagine you're falling into the bed in this way. So when you breathe out, we let go the tension and imagine you're falling into the bed. Okay. Then breathe in again. Then breathe out. Okay. Imagine we're sinking into the bed. We can also do some counting, So initially we started with 10, then with 9. Okay. Breathe in again. Breathe in. Breathe out. Say in our heart 8. So we are sleeping. No need to say it aloud. Just say in our heart 8. So we continue to count down. Breathe in. Breathe out. Seven. Breathe in. Breathe out. Six. If you're already asleep, no need to continue the counting. Just let go of the counting. But if you're still not asleep yet, then you continue the counting. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. 4. Breathe in. 3. Breathe in. 2. Breathe in. 1. And good night. Yeah, so that's how we can practice mindful breathing on the bed to help us to fall asleep. Okay, before we go to the live FAQ, I would like to go through some common FAQ first. Common FAQ before I attend to your question through the Slido system. Yeah. So the first FAQ is: should I close my eyes or count? Should I close my eyes or should I count? Actually, two related questions. 1A, 1B. Should I close my eye? Depending on the situation. If you are practicing mindful breathing on the bed for sleep purpose, of course, by all means, close the eyes. But if you are practicing mindful breathing throughout the day, on and off, just to calm the mind, it's not necessary to close the eyes. It's not a must. But if you think closing the eyes help you to focus, by all means. So there's no right and wrong. But definitely for sleep purpose, of course, you have to close the eyes. Do we need to count or no need to count? again, it all depends on your needs. Some people counting help them to focus. For some people, counting actually is distracting to them. So again, which is right is wrong. We invite you to go back and try with the beginner's mind and see which one works better for you. What if I take deep breath and makes you feel uncomfortable? This is so common. So some people, especially those with panic attack, history of panic attack, with anxiety disorder, there's a tendency of taking deep breath may actually make situation worse. Okay, I have a few suggestions if you're one of those with such kind of experience. The first one is consider just practice mindful body stretching without mindful breathing. So there's one option. It's still practicing mindfulness, just different too. First option, just mindful body stretching without mindful breathing. First option. Okay. Second option is when you're doing the mindful breathing, don't focus too much on taking the deep breath. Don't focus too much on taking the deep breath. Focus more on the out breath. Don't focus so much on the in breath. Focus more on the out breath. Let the out breath be longer and do it with the sound of relief. Okay, that's the second option. Okay, another option is start with mindful body stretching. Start with mindful body stretching, then followed by mindful breathing. But in the mindful breathing, instead of making it slow and deep, just breathe normally. Just breathe easily. Just note the in breath and out breath without changing it in any way. So you no need to tell yourself breathe in through the nose, breathe out through the mouth. No need. Just breathe naturally, breathe normally, breathe easily, and let the breath come to you. You just take note of the breathing process. No need to change it in another way. So these are a few adjustments you can do if you feel uncomfortable or feel more nervous when you practice mindful breathing. Okay, so with this, I will stop here to open for discussion and Q&A.